Good morning. Today we're going to finish talking about inequalities. Last class we solved a few of them. So to start off as an introduction, I want to give us a couple of more examples. If you choose to write these down, you can. However, this is just a recap from last class. I will let you know when you really need to pull out your notes. Alright, so the first thing is we want to review our inequality symbols. Alright, so we have this symbol right here, which is the less than. Anybody remember what this one is called? I think somebody in there has said it. So we're going to say that this one is the less than or equal to. We have the greater than. And then for this one, we will have the greater than or equal to. All right, with inequalities, we know that we solve them just like we do regular equations. The only difference is when you have to divide or multiply by a negative in order to solve, you must switch the order of the sign. So we're going to do a couple of examples. Let's first start off with an equation first. The difference between an equation and an inequality is that one has an equal sign and one has an inequality symbol. So let's start with this. We have 2x plus 3 is equal to 7. We identify our variable term, which is right here. And so we have to move that 3 on the other side. And we're going to move it by subtracting 3 on both sides. We have 2x is equal to 4. To get x by itself, we have to divide both sides by 2. And so x is going to be equal to 2. Let's take this same equation and let's make it an inequality. So we're going to do 2x plus 3 is greater than 7. So in this one, you still identify what your variable term is. And then you subtract 3 from both sides. You get 2x is greater than 4. You divide by 2. And your answer is x is greater than 2. The only difference is now you have to graph your solution because there are an infinite amount of solutions that will work for this graph. Any value of x that is greater than 2 will make this equation true. So let's graph the solution. We're going to grab a 2 right here. We'll put 3 and then we'll put 1. And if you remember from last class, this is going to be an open circle because it's not included. The value has to be greater than 2. So it can't be 2. It could be 2.1, but it could not be 2. And since it says greater than, we're going to shade to the right. And so that would be a final answer there. All right, at this time, I would like for you to take out your notes. And what you're going to do is we are going to continue with this a little bit, and then I'm going to give you guys some classwork. Just give me 1 second to erase. All right. So you can title this Solving Inequalities Continued. Solving Inequalities Continued. All right, so we're not going to do too many examples. I just want to make sure that we're clear on how to solve some other kind as well. All right, so let's start with n divided by -4 plus 7. I want that to look like a 7 instead of an inequality symbol. So n divided by -4 plus 7 is less than or equal to 14. All right, so we're going to identify our variable term. And in this case, our variable term is the n divided by -4. All right, so that means this 7 has to move. So in order to do that, we have to subtract 7 from both sides. Once we subtract 7 from both sides, 14 minus 7 will give us 7. And on this side, we'll be left with n divided by -4. And we'll still have a less than or equal to sign. Now, in order to get n by itself, what we must do is multiply both sides by -4. Starting to get a little light here, so I'm going to change colors. Go multiply both sides by -4. These will cancel, and we'll be left with n, and 7 times -4 is going to be -28. Now, who knows what symbol is going to be in the middle of these? All right, so the symbol is going to be greater than or equal to. And the reason why it's going to be a greater than symbol is because we multiplied by -4 to get the answer. And so then you will go forward and you will graph your solution. So think about the number line. -28 would be here. If we're going towards 0 this way, this would be -27. And right here would be -29. On top of the 28 would be a closed circle because of the equal to part. And it says greater than. Going towards 0 would be towards the right. So that's just another example. And I want to do one more example with the solving. And then we're going to move on to the word problems. All right, so here's the last example that I want to do with the solving, just to jog your memory. We have 2 times the quantity x minus 4 is less than 21. So I don't know if you remember, in order to solve this, you would need to distribute. So we're going to distribute to here and to here. So 2 times x will give us 2x. 2 times -4 will give us -8. It's less than 21. So we're going to add 8 to both sides because this is our variable term. These will cancel, giving us a 0, leaving 2x on that side by itself. Going to be less than 21 plus 8 will give us 9. We're going to divide, 29. Then we'll divide both sides by 2. So x is going to be less than 29 over 2. We do not switch the symbol because we did not have to divide or multiply by a negative to get this answer. Then we're going to graph our solution. So we'll put 29 over 2. We'll put 28 over 2. Right here, we could put 30 over 2, but what is 30 over 2? That will be 15, so we're going to put 15 there. This will be an open circle, and because it's less than, we're going to go to the left. All right. So those are the ones that I just wanted to give you a recap on so that you can make sure you can solve those as well. The last thing that we're going to talk about today is how to write inequalities based on words. How to write inequalities based on words. There's a couple of things that you need to know with this. There are certain phrases that are going to be specific to the inequality symbol. So let's write down some of those phrases now. All right. I'm going to go with green, me and Blake's favorite color. All right, so let's go with less than. All right, so less than symbol is going to look like this. All right, so if you see words like less than, obviously that's going to give us that symbol. But you would also sometimes hear, you know, not greater than, no more than. So you may hear not greater than, no more than. Now, if it says not greater than 5, you have to ask yourself, can it be 5? If it says not greater than 5, it can also be 5. So this one right here, not greater than, will be a less than or equal to. So if it says no more than 5, that means you could take 5, but no more than 5. So that also would be a less than or equal to. So these are the ones, well, let's just do it this way. Let's put this as a less than. And then we'll put up here slash or equal to. So it'll be this or less than or equal to. So if you see less than, it's going to definitely just be less than. If it says not greater than, it'll be less than or equal to. But if it says no more than, it'll also be less than or equal to. The other one that we want to take a look at is the greater than and the greater than or equal to stuff. Like words that would give you that kind of stuff. All right, let's go with greater than. And then we'll put a slash or equal to. So this is going to be our greater than symbol or our greater than or equal to. So it just flat out says greater than. We know that's just going to be the greater than that. If it says exceeds, that's also going to be greater than. Here's the one that really confuses people the most, is at least. At least will be greater than or equal to. Because it says at least, that doesn't mean that it's less, and that's what people confuse it with. So, for example, if I said that I have at least $5 million, that means I got $5 million plus. So it includes the 5 million, and I can also have more than that. So at least it's that one. If it says no less than, I don't want no less than $8 million. So if I want no less than that, that means I want greater than or equal to that. So those are just different ones that you want to pay attention to. All right, I'm going to try to wrap this up. So I'm going to give you 2 examples of how to write out inequality expressions. And then we're going to be done with this. All right, so Here we go. All right, so example 1. Oh, the red doesn't work out good. I'm gonna go back to green. All right, example 1. Your speed is greater than 50 miles per hour. Your speed is greater than 50 miles per hour. So we want to let x equal the speed. And then since it says greater than, we know what symbol to use. So you just do x greater than 50. Easy enough. All right. And let's do one more example. So let's do example 2. Becky is at least 20 years old. So you want to let x equal Becky's age, not just Becky, but her age, because variables can only represent numbers. So x, and who remembers what I said at least would give us? At least. So at least would be greater than or equal to 20. So this is how you would define a variable and write it out. All right, so here's your assignment. You're going to do a couple of things for me. When you do the sentences like we just did, example 1 and example 2, when you do those, make sure you define your variables. All right, so here goes. I'm going to have you to do page 432. Number 1 through 3. Then you're going to do page 433. Number 6 through 9. All right, and then your other work is going to come from, let's see. All right, and your other work is going to come from pages 452 to page 454. All right, so with that said, you're going to do number 16, 31 through 34. (38) through 41. And 46 to 49. All right, so that's 3, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's 18 problems. That's not bad. Don't forget to follow the instructions. You do not have to check the solutions, but you do have to graph if it's in the directions. So I'll write that down. Don't check, but graph if in the directions. All right, next class we're gonna make sure we talk about this a little bit more, and I want you guys to take about the next 30 minutes to get this done, and then you will go over it and check your work in class. Miss Pan's going to time you guys for 30 minutes. That should be enough time to get these done, and then go over the answers. If you have any questions, be sure to email me. I don't know if I gave you the information or not. I'm going to give you the information now. You all can email me at helpmissnelson@live.com. You can also comment on the video. So if you do a search for my YouTube channel, that is Andreas McGill. All right, so if you didn't write it down, or some of you probably already started doing your classwork, but I want to make sure you have this information. If you still have questions after the answers are given out after the next 30 minutes, please feel free to email me and I'll be able to get it from my phone. Or you can search my channel on YouTube and you can rewrite the video. Rewatch the video. All right, have a good class.